Wolfers. Gentleman in the middle is my son, Sam Wolfers, and the gentleman on your right or your left, depending on what you're viewing from, is Charlie Crawley. Um, Gentlemen, happy Father's Day, first of all. It's a nice day to have.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice and warm. It's definitely summer.
It is summer. Sam's first one. So
Yeah.
congratulations. Hopefully it was very, very relaxing and enjoyable for you.
Yeah, for the most part, didn't do a whole lot of anything. So had to sit around, watch the Euros, and
What's
on
going
the
on?
U.S. Open. So
Yeah.
didn't watch the Reds. I wasn't gonna watch that. So.
Yeah. I did not watch the Reds either. We had it on. We went over to in-laws, sat by the pool a little bit, and we had a good time. And we had the Reds on inside, and then we switched it to the um, to the golf, and that got interesting there. Um, the Live takes their first major, so congrats to Brooks.
No, Brooks won one.
Did he?
Brooks, I think he's won two.
Not since he joined the
Yeah,
Live.
yeah,
Did he?
yeah.
I thought he was a PGA
Brooks won
guy.
a couple.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But yeah, so I thought Bryson was the first one, but oh well. All right, moving on. We do have a good show. This is episode number 92. It is our Father's Day special. It's for our topic of the week. We are going to have the father-son duos, and we're going to rank the best father-son duos in sports. So sit back and enjoy that, all you fathers out there. We do want to say thank you for listening and or watching. If you're watching live on YouTube, you can follow us at Cincy Sports Scene, and we usually come at you around 8 o'clock on a Sunday night. So if you like to watch us, make sure you hit that notification button so you know when we are about to go on, and do the same thing on all your podcasting platforms. And that way you will get the latest updates when we just released the next episode. So we like to say thank you to all our listeners out there, and spread the word, spread the love. So moving on, we've got the week that was, and it was a interesting week here in Cincinnati. Let's first start with the Bengals news. News of the day. Yesterday, T signs his franchise tag, which doesn't come as a complete shock to any of us here at the podcast. I know there are a lot of people out there in the media land, talking heads lands. There's wanting the Bengals to trade them, and if you would have listened to the show this past season, Crawley points out very, very articulately and matter of factly that the Bengals don't trade people like that. So they're, they're not trading them. So either T was going to have to sit out a year like Carson Palmer, or sign it and go play. And he elected to sign it and go play. So thoughts on that first?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really come as a surprise. We knew it was going to happen before training camp. So I guess, the earlier he signs, the better. He can start officially practicing. I think mini camp's over anyways. So, but he'll be there for the start of training camp. He's not going to worry about it. I mean, just from his point, it's a smart move. It's $21 million. I don't know how, when you're a second round pick and you've only made about 10, how you can just not take $21 million. So I know it's not the long-term deal that he's looking for, but I don't know how you can leave that money on the table. So hopefully he can just stay healthy, and for his sake, put up numbers, and then he can go get paid next year. So.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no surprise. And it's not just a Bengals thing. If you look at the history of the NFL, teams don't make that trade. They just don't. Yeah. Not at that point. The Titans traded who's the receiver for the Eagles?
AJ Brown, yeah.
Yeah, but he had not gotten to the same point as T. I don't think they had offered the franchise and all that stuff to him. They just knew it was coming up. So there's not many cases that happening. So And the Bengals, the one thing they are good about is they don't kowtow and bow down to player demands and stuff. I mean, Carson Palmer, who in the rest of the NFL has allowed their franchise quarterback to just do nothing and not trade. Eventually they did trade him, yes, but after a while and all that stuff. So the Bengals aren't. I give them credit for that part. People just know that's the way it's going to work. That was why when Trey made that, well, I might retire or I might, and he traded me. It was just like within a week, he's probably like, well, why am I even saying this? This is a waste of time. So he's already backtracked from all that. So it's just not the way the Bengals operate. And that's one thing I will give credit to them for doing that, because it just takes care of all the, well, what could happen and all that stuff out of it. You either play for us this year or you take a seat and you don't get paid. So, here you go. Here's your choices. Now, he's going to walk after this season, and that's going to suck. And, because they're going to get nothing for him and whatever. But, I don't care about 2 seasons from now. I care about this season. So I wish the Reds had. That's my issue with the Reds, is they don't have that mentality. So, I think all your teams should have that mentality.
Yep. So the other news, not so much Bengals news, but just wanted to get you guys' take on the Trevor Lawrence signing. His big deal. AAV equals Burrows at $55 million.
Yeah, I mean, if
it is.
Yeah, that's just kind of the way the quarterback market is. If you think that's your guy, I mean, you're gonna have to pay him pretty much. If he's the next up, you're gonna make him essentially the highest paid quarterback. It's just how it's gonna be for everybody that's probably a top 15 to top 20 quarterback. Whenever they're up, they're just gonna get a contract that's in that range. I think that's just kind of how it works, because, I mean, we know if you don't have a quarterback, you can't win. Like, you can maybe make a little run here, make the wild card game, maybe even win the wild card game, but you're not a serious threat to win the Super Bowl. And I think every team's realized that now, so they've got no problem paying quarterbacks, even though Trevor Lawrence has been, I mean, not okay, but I don't know. 5 years ago, nobody would have ever said $50 million a year. So,
well, once Danny Dimes made 40 whatever million a year, then that opened up everybody. I mean, he's not even a top 15 quarterback. So, and they paid him all that money. Now they're already trying to figure out how to get out of it, and go from there. So, but the question would be, when's the last quarterback, say top 12 quarterback that has walked? When's the last time that happened?
I guess Kirk Cousins just this offseason.
Well, they traded him though.
Did they trade him?
Yeah,
I thought he walked.
Oh, or was he a free agent?
Yeah,
I think it was.
He might have been a free agent, but he's old though. I'm talking about a guy in his prime. I'm talking about a Trevor Lawrence.
You could say Kirk
Burrow
going to the Vikings.
Yeah,
that'd probably be the one. Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't willing to pay him that money that the Vikings did. So So I mean, that just doesn't happen again. That's an NFL thing, If you got a quarterback in his, there's more interesting test cases coming up. I mean, Dak Prescott, I think he's got one more season or whatever, and Cowboys at this point haven't. I mean, they could extend him. Jerry Jones is playing around again like he does all the time, which is great because it always hurts the Cowboys in the long run, and so I keep hoping he does keep doing that stuff.
And then it's coming up.
Yeah, and I guess he's top 15. I mean, he's definitely not worth $55 million or whatever. He's got 2 all-pro receivers to throw to and a good offensive line, and most importantly, probably a good offensive coach. So he gets helped out by a lot of other things. Brock Purdy will be coming up in
next offseason
after this season.
Yeah,
or has he got 2 more seasons? That was his third year that he just played, or second year?
This is his
second
year. Yeah, this
will be his third, but he wasn't a first-round pick, so he's eligible.
So he's got 2 more seasons, though.
Well, he wasn't a first-round pick.
Yeah, so he's got 4 years, doesn't he?
Right. Yeah, but after your third, you can sign the extension.
Yeah, but you don't have to.
Right. Yeah, you don't have to.
I'm saying that he has to get a contract or not after 2 more seasons.
Yeah, after 2 more. Yeah.
That's NFL nonsense that you have to sign them after I can sign them up till the end of their 4th year or 5th year or whatever. I mean, that's.
Yeah, but you don't want to get them disgruntled.
Oh God! If I'm throwing $50 million at you, you can take a long stick and stick it somewhere if that's going to disgruntle you too much. So.
Oh, it's good to have Crawley back.
Right. Just more nonsense.
Speaking of,
yeah, let's go to the Reds.
well, we got FC Cincy. They played.
Well, then we're not doing nonsense. I was ready to continue with the nonsense.
That's why I stopped it. I cut it off. But FC Cincy got a big victory last night after 17 days off, 4-2 over San Jose. Gentlemen, your report.
Yeah, I didn't stay up to watch the game. It was a late kickoff. But I woke up this morning, saw they won 4-2. Kubo had a hat trick after coming on as a sub in 8 minutes. So, I mean, I don't know where that ranks in terms of fastest hat tricks, but, I mean, it's got to be up there. 8 minutes to score 3 goals is pretty impressive. I think MLS put out a tweet. He's only like the 7th or 8th substitute ever to score a hat trick. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive. I don't know how many goals he scored, but he's not really a goal scorer anymore, kind of at this stage for FCC. So it was nice to kind of see him, do that. And just good to get a win on the road. So that's always hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, San Jose is not good. Nothing's a must win, I guess, at this point. The season still, but when you're playing, I mean, they're last place in the Western Conference. I think they have the fewest points in the whole league. So when you're playing that team and you're, fighting to be the best team in the league, you just kind of have to get that win. So that was good. They were down 2-1 in the second half. So that definitely was some concern there. And then you get Kubo all of a sudden with 3 goals. Costa did his magic to get at least one of those goals. I saw him dribble through like 5 guys, and then I don't even know if it was even a pass to Kubo. It almost just kind of looked like he lost it at the last second, and there was Kubo standing there. So, but yeah, however you can score. So they continue to push Miami. I mean, they're still 2 points behind Miami, but they got 2 games in hand. They played 2 less games in Miami. So, yeah, I mean, they're in the driver's seat still where they stand, and I would not have guessed that. A month ago, 6 weeks ago for sure, when they couldn't score more than 2 goals in a game. They hadn't scored more than 2 goals in a game. So, I mean, their offense has definitely been better. Defense has been good. I guess Miazga got hurt last night. I haven't seen an update as to what his. I haven't heard anything either. So. But he came out of the game, I guess, and so there was some concern I read this morning about his condition, but I don't know what his situation is, and they're already missing Miles Robinson because he's on the Copa America team. So he's going to be gone for however many games over the next 3-4 weeks. So, you're missing your one center back, and now you could be out your second one. And that's not good news because the defense has definitely been the thing that's got them to this position. So hopefully good news on him, comes back, and then they continue finding ways to score.
Yeah. Up next for FC Cincy is Philly.
That's always a tough game for them.
Mm-hmm. But it's at home. So
considering the FC Cincy's whole front office is all Philadelphia guys. So
basically Philly. Yeah.
Oh, hey, so you're saying a rivalry game. So there we go. At least in the front office.
I think their next 2 games are at home. If I'm not, I think they play.
Yes, I think you're
Wednesday
right.
and Saturday at home.
Yes.
Or Wednesday and Sunday or something.
I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I only put down Wednesday because I thought the next one was after our show, so it might have been Saturday or Sunday. But good luck to them. Keep up the winning ways, and we'll turn our attention now to the nonsense that the Cincinnati Reds had. This week, 2 off days. Sent Graham Ashcraft down, and then Montas.
Has he started in AAA yet? I haven't looked at his stats or anything.
Yesterday or today he made a start. I can't remember.
I think it was yesterday.
Yesterday.
But Montas comes out, can't even barely gets out of the first, and then our boy Spears has to come in and saved the day, pitched really well. So, on Tuesday against the Indians, we had to use the bullpen day. And
Guardians.
Or I said the Indians last week too, but that's all right. It's the dang Indians. Sorry, it's my show. I can say what I want. The Guardians, and they, the Guardians took it to them the first game, and then game 2 we made a late comeback, had a nice little run. Candelaria heating up.
Yeah,
he'll probably be
nice
a
to see
topic
that
here, in a couple of minutes. But then we go and face Big Brother, and I don't know what it is. I mean, we win the first game, right, and lose the next 2. Just it reminds me, and I hate to say this, but it reminds me of how the Steelers just always beat up on the Bengals, right? I mean, it just every now and then we might get lucky and beat them, but it just seems like they always have our number. And here the last 3 years, Milwaukee, it used to be the Cardinals. Now it's Milwaukee.
Right. That's what I was going to say. It reminds me of the Cardinals.
Yeah.
The Cardinals and the Reds for how many years?
Right.
So.
But all right, let's talk a little bit. We split the Ohio Cup.
Don't bring that up. That's so fake.
Well, just the first series. We got 2 more.
Yes, I know. Just the first series. We split it. So
Exactly.
So the stuff stays here, I guess.
Yeah. So real quick on Ashcraft, he went 6 on Saturday, gave up 3 earned. So
he could be the replacement for Lucas Sims.
Yeah. And just on a side note, the Bats just got swept in a 6-game series. So
they're terrible. The Bats are awful. I think they're like 15-50 or something. I mean, last time I looked, their record was god awful. They haven't been good in years.
They were good last year, weren't they?
Were they? I don't think so. Were they?
I thought they.
No, if they were 500, that was good.
Yeah, I thought they won the first half or the second half of.
Okay, well, maybe. I mean, you remember better than I do.
I don't know.
I just know historically they've been bad.
Yeah. Yes, I mean they have been, but I thought last year because
of Barrera, Jose Barrera.
Yeah, Jose Barrera, and all the talent that was down there until they came up. Helen Marte.
Yeah, they're 500, 34.
They're 500 this year.
Yeah.
Oh, they've been better than I thought, and they just got swept 6 games.
Yeah.
Oh, so they were over 500. God, how'd that happen? They got nobody on that team.
Hey, when you have Martini down there hitting bombs, and what's his name?
Blake Dunn,
Mike Ford.
No, I don't think Ford.
No, Ford not there, but
I think he's on a fishing boat somewhere. So.
Yeah, he might be. He might be riding in a Chevy somewhere. Who knows? All right, let's talk about this Reds team. What do they need to do to get over this hump from Milwaukee?
Don't put Lucas Sims out there if there's runners on base. That's just simple. He's had 16 inherited runners. 11 of them have scored. I don't think you can get worse than that. I don't know how you can be that bad. And I mean, as analytically driven as the Reds claim to be, at what point do you just look at David Bell and ask him if he's stupid? Because, I mean, he's got all those numbers, and he constantly trots Lucas Sims out there with runners on base, and they always score. The Reds always end up getting behind. They always lose. So I don't know at what point, when does David Bell get it through his head that you can't put Lucas Sims out there in a big spot?
Well, I mean, to David Bell's credit, he moved him out of the 8th inning. Right? I mean,
yeah, but the 8th inning isn't always times the biggest stressor.
I understand
Lucas,
that, but
if Lucas Sims, if the Reds are up 2 or 3, 8th inning, nobody, put Lucas Sims in.
Yeah, to start the inning.
Not the 6th inning when there's pressure.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't matter the inning, it matters the situation.
It does, but baseball players are creatures of habit. And remember when who was it?
Well, Iglesias,
Iglesias.
in his non-save, yeah.
Yeah, and his non-saves, he just couldn't pitch the,
Well, right now the only habit Lucas Sims has is letting runners score.
Giving up
So,
home runs too. Yeah.
I don't know what habit he's in right now.
I don't know. I know I watched a game when he pitched recently, maybe against the Cleveland team, and the Guardians. And I mean, he was pitching backwards. Like he was throwing all curveballs and sliders, hardly going to his fastball. And I don't know if that was by trade, because plan, or if that was Lucas saying I can't throw that fastball across the plate. And
yeah, he probably wouldn't throw the slider across the plate either. So
yeah, I mean that's why he was going to his curveball, his overhand, 10,
yeah,
the 12-6 curveball. And I don't know, but let's get back to the Reds.
I mean,
what they need to do. They
well,
got the Pirates.
There always seems to be. Let me say, there always seems to be some decision or something that happens against the Brewers in a game that the Brewers are just better than the Reds. Defensively, a lot of times, I mean, somehow the Reds win with 5 errors on Friday. I mean, that,
yeah,
should have been a loss. You don't win. I mean, I think time in 1992 or somebody.
1990 was the last time the Reds had 5 errors in a game and won.
I think in the whole major leagues it was 92 though. So of any team. That's what somebody said. So again, I mean, come on. So there's all the Brewers are just a better team, like fundamentally. They don't have better players. You can't convince me they have a better team talent wise than the Reds. But they're just better fundamentals. Whatever you want to chalk that up to, whether it's coaching, whether it's development, whether it's whatever. I mean, historically they've had better pitching. I mean, but they got rid of all their pitchers. So you can't say that this year. I mean, Freddie Peralta's not even pitching very well. I mean, he's their number one. I mean, that's who they beat on Friday. So, I think it's just, I hate the culture word, but the Brewers culture David Bell's culture club is not as good as the Brewers. They don't even have the same manager this year. So to me, it's just fundamentals. I mean, the defense, the Brewers defense was outstanding today. In terms of outfield, I was just listening on the radio for some of it, and Brantley was just going all over the place about any ball hit in the air in the outfield was caught. There wasn't anything that the Brewers gave up. So it's just fundamentals. It's better pitching over the long stand, and then you got just situations. You got decisions made. Is the Sims decision worse than taking your hottest hitter out of the lineup to pinch run? When when an inning or two later, it's going to be a right-handed pitcher because McGill is the closer and he's right-handed, so he's going to be out there if the Brewers are still in the lead. If they're setup guys, other than Paguero and then the guy Payams who came in today, they're all right-handers. So a right-hander is going to be out there in the ninth inning. Whoever they throw out there, I'd rather have Jamer out there than Espinal or Fairchild batting against a right-hander. I mean, stats don't lie in this case. The old Reds analytics, Fairchild's batting like 120 against right-handers, and I'm sure Espinal isn't much better. So I don't know. I mean, both of them are just awful decisions to me, and the reason they lost today.
And the Cleveland game, the first game in the series too, was the reason why they lost. Once again, the same thing. It's like they take Will Benson out. Because
like the fifth inning, his spot's going to come up again,
right? And just let him bat one time against a lefty. I mean, just let him bat in the fifth inning. Now, if it's the eighth or ninth, okay, I can see that, but that's the thing that irritates me the most out of Bell is the tinkering that he just continues to manipulate the lineup to say, okay, they're bringing in a left-hander in the fifth inning. I get to now put all my right-handers in, and they only had one bench bat, going into the eighth inning, and it was Luke Malley. It's like, ooh.
And they won't use him. I mean, you don't really want them to use him, but
and it's like, ooh, that's scary for the opposing pitcher, But luckily, it was I think that was the.
It's just
that was-
It's just the Brewers bullpen, the end of their bullpen, the back of their bullpen is right-handers, and
Right.
they're coming in. So you give the left-hander, Jamer, whoever, especially him, when he's the hottest guy out there, you don't take his bat out of the lineup to put in a guy who you're going to get one at bat against a left-hander. Then the right-handers are coming in afterwards to close the game.
Yeah. Well, what irritates me is Espinal ended up getting the hit in the ninth inning. So now, in David Bell's mind, it's justified, right? Because
exactly.
Espinal ended up getting the hit.
Even though that was just a luck, just to stick my bat out there and
play, it was. And then, did Stu only think there was one out? He had to have, right? Because he was gunned down. He's not.
He looked to the outfield when he was running. He took 3 steps and he was looking in the outfield. Why is he looking in the outfield?
He thought there was one out, I guess. And so it's things like that where they're doing that on a nightly basis. The Brewers
don't do that stuff.
No, or these mental errors where they make a fielding error, and then instead of just eating it, now they're chucking it 30 rows up into the stands. They did that twice on Friday. That was, Candy and Ellie had 2 errors on one play, both of them in the same game doing the same thing. It's stuff like that makes me think that David Bell doesn't have a grip on the team. Like he doesn't. Like these guys just aren't responding to whatever he's saying about fundamentals, if he's even saying anything. I mean, this isn't the first time that Stu has forgotten how many outs there are in an inning. He's done it multiple times now this year. How is he still a part of the team? He's a fringe guy. If fringe guys are doing that, you got to get him out of here. This is supposed to be a playoff baseball team. You can't have your fringe guys making these bonehead mistakes like that. You just can't. You can't have.
But that's the problem, right? Is because the way Bell wants to make his lineups out, which we've had this conversation last year where it's like, if you're a major league player and you can't hit left-handed pitching, you should not be playing. End of story. I mean, you've got to be able to at least be serviceable against a left-handed pitcher. But, it's like he will stack his lineup, all right-handers. And then once they make that move, then here comes all the left-handers. And then once again, they'll bring in a left-hander and now we're screwed, or vice versa. It's all the lefties batting. And then when they bring in that, left-handed pitcher, they all come out.
6th inning. And that spot in the lineup's coming back up again. Like mathematically, it has to. And just he's pinch hit.
Let them play. Let your bench players be bench players because that's what they are.
Yeah.
Give them a day here and there. But
I mean, we've talked about this forever. He runs it like a little league team. Like everybody's got to get in that bat and inning out in the field. I mean, it's ridiculous. These are major league ball players. You should have a set lineup. And if a guy's slumping or if he's played 15 straight days in a row or something, you give him an off day. That's what your bench is for. Your bench isn't to be out. All these guys aren't supposed to play in 100 games.
Right. Right. And especially having 2 off days this week.
Yeah, they played 4 or 5 games games this week. So
yeah,
little travel. Cincinnati to Milwaukee's not far distance, especially coming off an off day.
Right. Oh well, I mean.
But hey, he got an extension, and he's probably going to get another one in 2 years. So
let's hope not. All right, let's move on. They've got Pittsburgh. They travel to Pittsburgh.
They could be no hit tomorrow, by the way.
Is it Skeens pitching tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I gotta watch that one.
Yeah, it's.
So who's pitching for the Reds, he better be on his game.
It was.
He better be ready. Because
Dilladolo.
No, it's Spears.
Oh God! So it's a guy first start of the year. Now sometimes if he was pitching against the Reds, I'd be excited about that because that's why not only are you dealing with Skeens being as good as he is, but you're dealing with the first time he's faced him as a rookie. The Reds' history of that. So, I mean,
no hit.
Right.
They won't. He's not going to get a no hitter because they'll pull him in the 6th.
Right. He won't get out of the 6th for sure.
Yeah,
but it would be if you're a gambling person and. I'm sure odds are high to, put money on a no hitter to happen, for a guy whatever you can do, but it would be worth to throw some money on it if tomorrow's game.
20 plus strikeouts, set the rookie record, right, for strikeouts.
Yeah.
Kerry Wood, 20. That I can see in 6 innings. Well, that would only be 18. Somehow though he'll get 20 in 6.
Yeah, drop strikes, couple 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, a couple 4 strikeouts in there, and even the dog believes us. But yeah, or Ellie swings at that changeup or whatever it is. And
oh God, dude, that's going to be ugly.
He swings twice, and that counts.
Who strikes out more, Ellie or Benson?
Benson will only.
Ellie probably will because Benson will only get like 3 at bats.
Well, he'll get all bats against Skeens though. It's a left-hander.
Yeah, I guess if you're talking purely Skeens.
Yeah, but
Ellie will be at the top of the order, so have more at
bats. 8th or 9th.
Yeah. So I would say the over/under for sure for overall strikeouts for the Reds tomorrow is 14.
14.
Yeah, that's where I'd put it at.
Over/under. All right,
you're talking 27 outs. You don't think they're going to strike out half the time against Skeens and whoever other guys they bring out there? I think it's 14. I think 13 and a half was where I'd set it.
I'm going 21, baby. Let's go.
I wouldn't do that, but
well, not any money down, but just.
But I'm saying with money, I'd say 13 and a half.
Yeah. With money, 10 for sure.
Well, Skeens get the left-handed and he get 10. So.
Now you watch tomorrow; they'll just light his ass up.
Right.
Because that's what you said about the Dodgers, and boom, baby. We're sweeping the Dodgers, and, made that nice little run while you were out of town. But yeah. All right. So comes to our favorite portion of the Reds here. Pitcher, hitter of the week, and player who should be demoted. So pitcher of the week.
I was going to say the hitter was easy one.
Yeah, the hitter is probably.
I'm excited about that one. Finally.
Yep. So why don't we just go there first? So the hitter of the week, Candyman.
Yep. Yeah. And he's, I'm sure, been hitter of the month, not just the week. So
yeah, he has been.
He has been.
Yep.
So good to see.
Yep, it is. It's finally he's making.
And he does. I mean, he has been following his history. I mean, it's not like this is a new thing. Like every year, he's terrible at the beginning of the year, I guess. And
he fits right in. So that's a good sign. Crawl.
He took over Votto's spot where he starts slow.
There you go.
All right.
You just did something that's probably never been said before. Votto and Candelario in the same sentence.
Oh, yeah, it has.
Comparison.
They compared the veteran leadership that Votto brought, and now Candy. They brought him in for the veteran leadership.
Oh, God.
So yes. All right. So pitcher of the week.
That was tougher.
It was.
Hasn't had a great starts this week, so.
Yeah, I just said not the bullpen. That's all I had. So
I'll see. I went with the bullpen, not the whole bullpen.
Yeah.
Who'd you go with?
I went with Maul.
Maul, that's a good one. Yeah.
I mean, they freaking send him down. I mean, come on. Again, another ridiculous move because we got to keep Legumina or somebody on the 40-man or whatever it was.
Justin Wilson.
Yeah, whatever. Well, he's been decent recently, but Maul gets sent down, which is ridiculous. I mean, he's been the best relief pitcher really for the last year.
Since they got him, basically.
I mean, since they got him, which was August of last year, or whatever it was. So, yeah, I'm giving him to him just as a lifetime achievement award, if not for just this week. So I'm going Sam Maul, and this week he gave up no runs in 2 and 2/3 innings. So.
Yep. Yeah, I would probably concur with that.
Yeah, I'll go with Maul too.
All right, so
fine with that.
And could be a
sweep 3 for 3.
Yeah, 3 for 3.
Yeah,
that's happened in a long time here.
Yeah, but we have to change this to being released, not demoted, though.
Well, either or, released or demoted, right? I mean,
not in Cincinnati,
right? Let him go to Louisville, that kind of thing. And I think we all know who we're talking about.
Hunter Green for sure.
Yeah, Lucas Sims. Better figure it out, son.
He's only given up 1 run this week.
His own.
No.
Yeah.
That's where the stats are.
Yeah,
That's where the stats you gotta
When he
be aware
lowers
of what the stats
ERA,
say.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like,
Right.
which I think, I understand you don't. I mean, I get that, but man, that's bad.
Yeah, the stats, it should be split. It's half a run for each pitcher. But
All right. So there you have it. Pitcher, hitter, and who should be demoted or not. Well, they've got the said they go to Pittsburgh, and then they got the Sox. Red Sox are in town for the weekend. Hopefully we can, at least take more than we lose. That's the goal. Especially against Pittsburgh, we've got to take 3 or 4 from them, and then 2 or 3 from Boston. That would be.
Oh, we played Pittsburgh 4 games.
I thought we played them 4 games. Maybe it's 3.
I mean, I haven't looked, so I mean,
yeah, I'm looking right now. So no, only 3. Sorry.
Is there an off day in there then?
Yeah, there's an off day Thursday, and then 3, and then then Pittsburgh comes back to town for 3. Then we go to St. Louis for 4, and then the Yankees for 3
in New York.
Yeah, that's July.
Yeah.
So
We will see.
We will see. That is correct. All right, and we'll see if Crawley knows the trivia from last week. Sam had the question. He stumped me. I think.
No, and I got no chance.
I don't know. I think
you got 5 of the 8.
I got 5 out of the 8, and I left. I mean, we could have sat here for another 30 minutes. I probably would have came up with them, but I didn't. I didn't want to. But so we'll let Crawley see if he can answer the other 3 here. So go ahead, Sam. Review the question.
The question was pretty simple, straightforward. Who are the 8 members of the 300 homer, 300 steal club, Major League Baseball? And Dad, you got 5. You got the Bonzes. Where's my list? You got the Bonzes, Andre Dawson, Willie Mays, A-Rod, and
That's all 5. That's 5.
Is that 5?
Yeah, because you said both.
Yeah, that's 5. Yeah, the Bonzes. Yeah.
Oh my God, I would have never thought of Andre Dawson.
The Hawk.
Yeah, I didn't remember him stealing
There
a
was
bunch
3
of
less that
bases.
he did not get. So
Ricky Henderson one of them?
he's not one of them.
No.
He didn't get 300 home runs.
Oh, he missed it by 3 home runs.
Oh, I was going to say, God, I thought he hit quite a bit of home runs.
He did, but not 300.
So there's 3 others beside those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I haven't even thought.
Joe Morgan.
Nope.
What did he not make it by? I wonder. Not enough
Like
home runs.
290.
Yeah, I don't think he had the home runs.
Yeah, he had the steals for sure, but
Yeah, the most recent one just retired maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Larry Walker.
Not Larry Walker, no.
I'm gonna say he's one of those guys that has like a million, like him and Todd Hilton. What about Todd Hilton? He probably ended up stealing bases.
Steals.
He's another one that's like answered every trivia question.
Yeah, that's like Sean Casey speed right there, Hillman Hilton.
There was one Dad got after the show.
Griffey Jr.?
Not Griffey Jr., no. This guy did play for the Reds, though.
Oh, yeah.
Outfielder.
That's right.
There's a guy that did play for the Reds?
Yep, outfielder.
Yeah, I got it after the show. But...
Vada Pinson?
Nope.
I don't know if Frank Robinson had that many.
He's not Frank.
He didn't have that enough steals.
Mm-mm.
I mean, Eric Davis didn't play enough to get there.
Nope. He was close, but he didn't get there. He was, I think, 13 homers shy. 18 homers shy.
The Dunner? He didn't have enough steals. He probably had 3 steals in his career, not 300.
No.
I can't even think of who else would have had 300 steals or 300 home runs for the Reds.
Well, give him the clue that you,
because it wouldn't be Bench or Rose or any of those guys.
No, it was.
And he played for like 8 teams or something.
Yeah,
like
he played for a lot of teams. Probably most known playing for the Reds and the Royals.
The Reds and the Royals. Moose.
Moose is
Yeah.
loose.
The Moose is loose. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody like
All right.
Johnny Damon or something. He didn't have 300 home
Yeah.
runs.
No. All right. Well, go ahead. So
Yeah.
we were missing Carlos Beltran,
That makes sense.
Reggie Sanders. That's the one there. Red.
Oh. Reggie Sanders had 300 home runs in his career. God, I would have not have. I'd have lost money on that.
The other one. Steve
Who was
Finley.
Who was the other one?
Steve Finley. That's right.
Steve Finley.
Well, see, I wouldn't have thought of him with home runs either.
Yep. He had 304. Just
Man.
made it.
Yeah, I had no
All right,
idea
we're
that
at-
Reggie Sanders had many home runs.
We are going to keep the theme. I've got the question this week. We're going to keep the theme of home runs, but it's also Father's Day. So it's going to go right into our topic of duos. So I need you to give me the top 5 father-son duos that have the most combined home runs in Major League Baseball.
Well,
Barry-
I would assume
Barry
Bonds is
Bonds.
on there.
Say Bonds.
What
Probably
where
one.
at? Nope. Yeah, put them in order here. So
Oh,
Want us to go in order? I'm gonna put them in one.
okay, you got Bonds at 1. That's
the
correct.
Fielders.
Where are they
Cecil
at?
and Prince.
They have
They
like
got to be up there.
they have an identical number. It's like 330 combined. So I think combined they're lower than Barry overall.
Yeah, just from Barry himself, though.
Yeah,
Bonds are going to probably be first.
Yeah, I would put Griffey's at 2, Fielders at 3. Trying to think who other like sluggers. Because I mean, if you go the Alomar route, there's 2 sons. If you
Yeah, but I don't.
combine them
Those
up, I don't
guys hit enough
know real
home.
power hitters though. So
Even the father didn't.
yeah,
He wasn't like a.
Yeah, Sandy, the dad, only had 13.
Yeah.
home runs.
yeah. So that's
Roberto had 292, I believe. It was getting up there.
What about this is father and sons, so even if it's multiple sons?
I did look at multiple
Like the
sons.
Boones. I was thinking the Boones, for example.
Which Boone?
The father and the Bob and the 2 sons.
Oh,
Bob
Bob
and-
and the 2 sons, and not
Yeah.
Bob, not Ray and Bob.
Right. No, because I'm saying you get 2 sons there.
Yeah.
You get the combined totals.
Yeah, I did not do the combined totals, so I still don't think they would have been top 5. I'll check real quick though. So right now you have
yeah. Bonds, Griffey's, Fielders.
I mean, the Guerreros, or I don't know if Vlad Jr.'s hit enough yet.
Yeah, I don't know how many he's got.
I mean, that would if they're on there, he might be like 5th or something. I mean, Vlad Sr. had tons.
Yeah.
they're on there.
The Guerreros are on there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, there you go. They're probably 5th, I'm guessing.
At 5th, yeah. Then 4th.
You said the Griffeys already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's. Yeah, I don't know. Because I'm trying to think of sluggers.
Yeah, the Boones do not crack the top 5. They're at 428.
And that's less than the Guerreros.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I don't know how many juniors had yet so far.
All right. So right now you've got
So not the Boones. Don't tell me it's the Bells. Don't tell me. It better not be.
It can't.
This question should be thrown out you should be banned from trivia for at least a couple months if you put Bell as an answer.
The question is which Bells?
None of them. The Suns, not the David and those guys none of them are any good.
Gus and Buddy though.
Is it them? Is it Gus and Buddy?
No, they would have been 6th on the list.
Okay, well, it's pretty good.
That's higher than I'd have thought. Honestly.
I was going to say it couldn't have been David and Mike and those guys. None of them were any good.
407 was Gus and Buddy.
But they're 6. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got everything but whatever the one we're missing then.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've got all of those.
Yep.
I can't think of who it would be.
So the Bonzes are first at 1,094. Because Barry had 700 and Bobby had over 300, right? Because that was a trivia question. He had 332. Griffey's are second at 782. Junior had 630 and Senior had 152. The Fielders are third, and Sam, you are right. They both had the identical amount of home runs, but it was 319. So it was
319.
Yeah, 638. The Guerreros are actually fourth on the list. Vlad alone, Senior, had 449, and Junior has 134 right now. So that's 586. So you're still missing one. I'll give you back.
What's the number for how many of the Boons have? You said how many did you say that? 407?
425.
Oh, 4. Okay, so it's somebody more than that. So it could be like, I'm not saying this is the answer, but it could be like Pete Rose Jr. who has like 2, but the father has like 425 or something. So
well, I will let you know.
Is it like that where it's somebody high up on the list and their kid had 1?
No, the son had 332. The dad had 206.
Okay, so it's pretty legitimate then.
Yeah.
Okay. 332 and 206.
Yeah, we'll give you another.
I mean, the only other one I came across when we were, because of our topic or whatever, was the Alus.
Ding, 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 ding. There
Okay.
The Alus are 5th place.
Yeah.
With 538. Felipe and
Moises. Those are good names.
Real quick on Prince Fielder, I just saw something I thought it was interesting the other day. He has more career inside the park home runs than Ricky Henderson.
Cecil or Prince, you said?
Prince.
Yeah.
So just thought that was kind of weird. So.
Yeah, and then the Alomars, I was looking at the Alomars, and they weren't, like I said,
Yeah, I mean, they just weren't really power guys. So.
Yeah, the dad wasn't. I mean, Roberto had 290 some.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah. All right, so you got them correct. So there you go. Next week, Carly will have the trivia. It'll probably be another 4-parter.
Maybe.
You never know. All right, we're going to move on to our topic of the week. It is father-son duos. We are going to list and rank the best father-son duos in sports, and then we'll debate maybe, which one, who we thought was better, the father or the son. So where do you guys want to begin?
Might as well just stick with baseball since we were talking about it.
All right. So,
I mean, we just said all the ones I would have said from your trivia question.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is true. So,
well, I guess the question is, would you rank any of them differently than the home run list? Like, would you move Griffey's up to 1 and, bump the Bonzes down or, anything like that?
I don't think you can, even though steroid Barry.
Right. I mean, if you just base it on production, I don't think you do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take the steroids out of it, Barry was better hitter than Junior was.
Yep.
Yeah.
His career, I mean, just, and Bobby versus Ken, Ken Senior.
Yeah.
So, So I mean, yeah, it's tainted with the steroid thing. But
Right.
so yeah, I would probably keep Bond still number one and Griffey two. I mean, the fielders were pretty dang good.
Yeah, the fielders were pretty good. And you know, you got the Bells in there, you know, because that's 30 generations. You got the Boones in there. That's
So I put the Boones because you got
you got
both sons, both
Both,
grandsons. I mean,
yeah.
you got three generations, but you also have both grandsons or whatever you want to call it, refer to them as, who are both legitimate major
ball
league
players.
players. Aaron and Brett were both
Yeah.
had really good, good careers. You know, compared to the Bells, who the grandsons there didn't do jack squat.
David Bell, what, 12 years in the league? That's pretty good. I would take 12 years. You get your pension.
Okay, you can't compare them to us. Again, that's never a good argument.
And then also, you know, like the Boone or the last Bells, have any of their sons made the big leagues yet? You know,
I think Mike is in single A. No, he's playing Mike's son.
Who are you talking about?
The Bells.
Bells. Does David Bell have a son that made the big leagues yet?
Not yet. But
I mean,
Mike's
that would be the
son,
fourth generation.
Yeah.
Mike's son is
Mike's the one that passed away, right?
yeah. His son playing for Florida State or Georgia Tech, one of the two, I think. But yeah. So any other baseball ones that we have? I had
I mean, the Alous, like we said.
Yeah.
They lose.
the Alous. I had the Alomars because you had Sandy,
Yeah.
Roberto, and
Just
Sandy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roberto was. Well, I mean, Sandy had a good the catcher, the younger one, the son, Sandy.
Yeah, Sandy
was pretty
Jr.
good for a few years. I mean, he was the catcher for those Indians teams.
Yep. And then I had.
I don't think the father did tons though.
No. I did have Dante and Bo Bichette on the list just because they were father-son.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there's a lot of like younger guys that'll, you know, in the next 10 years, the conversation.
Biggios.
Yeah.
But I didn't go father. You know, I didn't put Holiday on there just because.
Well, yeah, he's
Yeah,
done.
back down.
Yeah, if we do this 10 years from now, it could be the Holidays are in the top
The
three.
weight will be up there too, because Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah.
I guess it's tougher because
it's true.
So it's a little tougher to.
I mean, the Wits would be above any of those other ones you just said right now, Biggios and the Bichettes and stuff, because Bobby Witt Jr. is top 10 player in the majors right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Bobby Witt Sr. was a pretty dang good pitcher for a number of years. So.
And you could also go with the Clemens if Rogers, one of his sons, Cody.
Cody's around somewhere.
He plays for the Phillies. He's a utility. He gets bounced AAA and up. Everyone, I mean,
he's their Martini basically, up and down 3-4 times a year.
I don't think he's as old as Martini, but same kind of role. Yeah.
But you can go off of the dads.
Right. Yeah. That's one of those. 500 career home runs to 3.
Yeah.
To get you on the list.
5,000 strikeouts to.
Yeah.
Okay, Cody, you had 5,000 strikeouts, but swinging. So
actually, he pitched. He had a couple strikeouts in one of his pitching. So they're probably on some father-son strikeout list.
Yep. All right. So.
Yeah, I'm looking real quick just because I was like, I need to look at this. David Bell's stats, like playing stats. In 2004, he batted 291 and for a full 603 at bats. So it wasn't just some 200 at bats. 603 at bats for the Phillies. He batted 291, had 18 home runs and 77 RBIs.
Hey, that keeps you around.
And then he had a season in Seattle where he batted 268 and had 21 home runs and 78 RBIs. I would have never guessed that he had those numbers in his playing career for a single season.
Wants a lineup where everybody has those exact numbers. That's his goal.
Well, we're not being successful right now, especially the 291 or whatever.
Yeah,
exactly.
Considering I think we're back to having no one batting that. I think Fraley's under that number again. So,
well, the stat I heard I can't remember. It was Wednesday, I guess it was. Sadak was talking about Major League average is below it's like 247, 242, something like that. It's the major league average this year. It's like, holy cow. That's, I just never, I knew batting has been.
Well, Cowboy said, and I've heard it from other sources too, it's the baseballs are a big part of it. They've done something to the baseballs to deaden them this year.
But I'm just, like contact hitters you don't have them anymore. The kid from Cleveland, and then
Stephen Kwan. I mean, that dude should not be a good baseball player at all.
No, but contact and runs, right?
He poops it in left field, and
I know. God.
Yep. Just that's what we're missing. Somebody who can contact,
right?
But they don't teach that anymore. All right. Let's go football.
The Mannings.
Yeah, the Mannings.
Number one. They got to be number one.
Yeah.
See, I even kind of tried to rank them even within amongst sports too.
Right,
and I think
right.
the Mannings were number one. That's the number one father-son duo of any of them. Because you got two sons again, two Super Bowl winning sons.
Yes.
So just that fact alone puts them over the Bonds or whoever. I think there's a hockey one that would compete.
Yes, there would be a hockey one that would compete.
But to me, the Mannings are number one overall.
So you're not saying Bob and Brian Greasy? I mean,
No.
The only quarterback to go undefeated? Come on now.
But
it was just him. But Brian Dilley was a average to below average start, NFL quarterback.
Hey, but he was an NFL quarterback.
I mean, he might go on the list just because of Bob, but they definitely ain't over the Mannings.
No, they're not. Let's see. I got a couple of
the Longs. The Longs.
The Longs are pretty.
Good. That's a pretty good name right there. Longs.
Howie and
they'd probably be number two.
I don't know. You got the Matthews, Clay Matthews Jr. and Clay Matthews the third.
Right.
And then you have Bruce and his boys, Kevin and Jake Matthews.
Yeah, but the sons aren't nearly as good as Clay the third or Chris and Kyle Long.
Yeah. Well, Clay the third is the son. Is the
right.
That's
what I'm saying. I'm saying the sons are not as good. The Longs and the Matthews sons are better than the sons of who you just mentioned. Bruce Matthews' sons.
Yes. Any other football ones?
Yeah, I don't.
One that's kind of near to our.
The Roses.
The Roses. Pete and Petey. Yeah.
Pete and Petey.
Yeah.
Eduardo and Tony.
Yes, Eduardo and Tony. Now we're going to talk about for our family, Ed and Christian McCaffrey.
I just don't. I mean, Ed was solid, wasn't he? I don't think he was anything special.
Well, but I mean, a lot of these father sons.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah.
It's rare that you have, like the Griff. Well, I mean, even the dad. I mean.
Seniors, he won championships, but outside of that, he's a pretty mediocre player.
Right. Okay, and I also had, in the coaching ranks, I had Kyle and Mike Shanahan for football.
Yeah.
All right.
Mike. What about Don Shula and Dave Shula?
I have them on the list too. But yes, Don and Dave. Oh, and then I have Buddy.
They probably. I'm sure they have combined maybe the top coaching victories of any NFL coaches.
Yeah, probably. I have.
Don's 95% of that.
Yeah, Don and David, Buddy, Rex, and Rob Ryan, and then Orlando Brown and.
Well, Rob Ryan's never been a head coach, has he?
No, he has not. But he's coached defense. And then Bum and Wade Phillips, pretty good on that list. All right, moving to what sport you want to go to next? Just
hockey.
Hockey
or basketball. Go to basketball, whatever.
All right, go to basketball. Who do you got?
Curry's.
The Currys, yep.
Curry's, yeah. Thompson's.
Yeah, and what was the Thompson that played for the Dodgers?
Trace.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So he
just disappeared.
He did.
Yeah, he had like a 30-homer season randomly, and then I think he was like Scott Schebler, basically.
Scott Schebler.
Scotty.
Hardaway's.
The Hardaways, yep. You have, I mean, I didn't put them on the list, but people are probably going to be clamoring the Bryants, right? Because Joe Bryant did play in the NBA 7 years, but I don't remember the guy at all.
I think all his success, real success, was in
overseas.
Europe. Overseas, yeah.
And then Kobe, obviously.
I mean, you could say the Waltons, kind of.
I put the
right,
Yep, I did have the Waltons on the list.
You got the king. You got the King and Bronny.
No, I didn't put him on because he's not professional yet.
He's going to be the #1 pick for the Lakers this year.
Please let him.
He might be the #1 pick overall.
He ain't gonna be the #1 pick overall. No. And then let's see. All right, let's go hockey.
Yeah, I mean the Halls. I mean, to me, would be one that could compete with the Mannings.
Right, Bobby and Brett.
Yeah, I mean you're talking 2 Hall of Famers.
Right. Yes, you are. And then Gordie Howe and Mark Howe, but Mark wasn't really.
He wasn't Brett Hall.
No, he was not Brett Hall.
So.
And then I have a couple of others. You guys got any others?
The Kachucks for hockey.
Yeah.
Chucks.
The Earnharts.
The Earnharts, yep. Any others?
The Andretti's. There's a bunch in racing. I looked at the list bunch.
Yeah.
The Andretti's, the Unsers.
Oh, yeah. The Petties.
The Petties, yeah. That could be a good one, too.
I saw on my in the Air and Space Museum, which is random here, the Air and Space Museum in D.C. has Richard Petty's car on display, one of his championship-winning cars.
43.
The speed exhibit.
Yes.
One we left off for basketball. I was just kind of looking at a list here. The Berries.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Barry.
Brett.
Yeah.
John. Several Barry. Yeah, several of them.
Yep. Got the Ewings, right? Patrick and
the Rivers.
The Rivers, yeah. Doc and
Austin
Rivers.
The Hills, Grant Hill, and
Calvin. That's a different sports.
Yeah, 2 different sports. Yep, that is right.
Those ones are cool. Are there any other notable different sports, but they were both elite?
Good.
Yeah.
Because
Pat Mahomes' dad wasn't. He was just like a relief pitcher, right? He wasn't anything big time.
Yeah,
he was decent. I mean, he had some good years.
Yeah.
I mean, he would probably go on the list because there's probably not a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's some that are off the list, they're sports related, but I got Jack and Joe Buck, and then Marty and Tom Brenneman.
Yeah.
Chatterbox Sports.
Hey, it's all right. And you got Sam and Dave Wolfers here on
that's right.
Yeah.
Ben's the producer, so who's listening as he's supposed to be working at the golf course tonight. So because he texted and said Carly's probably gonna, just because you said your trivia thing, he said Carly's probably gonna have 8 parts just because I said that.
I'll make sure of it.
Yep. All right. Any others that we want to throw out there?
Trying to think if there's any in soccer anywhere.
There's a couple. I was trying to think, like golf, like Jack Nicklaus and Gary, but Gary really never made the tour or anything like that.
Tiger and Charlie.
Tiger and Charlie, or
apparently John Daly's son's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah. Well, the Stradlers, the Walrus and the Walrus Jr. Then you had the Tways and the Hosses. We're good. Tennis. I couldn't think of any in tennis.
I was thinking of track and field, if there was anybody. I'm sure there is, but I hadn't come across anyone yet.
Horse racing got a lot of father sons.
Yeah, it's only pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Let's see.
About like boxing, any boxing, Hubbard would probably have some wrestlers. I'm sure.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. He probably would.
And The Rock's dad isn't The Rock.
You got Muhammad Ali, and what was the daughter's name?
Oh,
Remember the
Layla.
daughter was in boxing?
Yeah, Layla.
Layla.
Oh yeah, Layla Ali. Yeah.
You got Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair.
Oh, we are going to wrestling.
Well, that's the one. Well, you said
Yeah.
The Rock and
The Rock and his dad, right? Wasn't his dad a wrestler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've got the Marvin Harrison Jr. too. So.
Well, he hasn't played in the NFL yet. You just said I can't conclude Bronny though. Well, Bronny's going to get drafted,
but he hasn't got drafted yet. So yes.
Yeah, but he's going to. Yeah, Jerry Rice's son just got drafted.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole list of them coming up that.
Yeah, there's.
Watch out for. So.
There's a few of them out there too that you're like going, oh.
Oh, Edgerrin James and Jizzle James.
Jizzle James, yep.
There we go.
Yeah.
Number one.
Wasn't it like Peter Falk and Marshall Falk? Aren't those two the same?
No. Your son probably doesn't know who Peter Falk even is. Either of your sons.
Yes, no, they probably don't. Oh, all right. Just a reference for us old timers out there.
Right, even older than me. Hey, I got if we're done with that, I can give you my take on the Nationals and the Orioles stadiums.
Yep, go right ahead.
Went to games there. Have you been to either one of them?
I've been to Sam and I.
I've been to both. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you've been to both. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the Nationals was, I mean, probably as generic as a generic could be in terms of a modern stadium. I mean, there's nothing that really stood out to me. It's nice, nothing wrong with it. It's just there's just no feature of it that's like, oh, that was cool or something. So
it's hard to get to. I mean,
it's really hard to get to. Yeah.
Well, we took the Metro, so
okay.
It actually was easy with the Metro. So they have a nice Banks area, right outside the stadium too. And $5 beer, $5 Buds and Bud Lights for up until game time.
Oh. Up until game time.
And we had an hour and a half rain delay, so there was a lot of chance of having a lot of $5 Bud and Bud Lights. So that was maybe the most memorable thing was that special. Was the happy hour. Because the game was terrible too. It was 9-1 or something.
You didn't see Senzel get into a pushing match?
No, with Gore. No. That was after me. So yeah, nothing too memorable in the game. Food options were pretty good. But then Camden Yards, which I'd been before. I had never been to the National Stadium, but I'd been to Camden Yards and, the original retro stadium. And it's, the cool with the warehouse and, a lot of cool features there. They have really good food options all around that place. So yeah, I'd give that, I like Great American. I mean, I've been to enough stadiums now. I feel like that I can, compare them to Great American. And I'm not saying it's my favorite. My favorite still is the Giants Stadium, whatever that's called now. They've changed the name about 18 times, but AT&T or whatever it is now. That's my favorite stadium. But Camden Yards is definitely one of the top ones. Been just good atmosphere. They do a lot of fun stuff going on in the stands. They had a guy leading a cheer section. I thought I was at a soccer game. They had a guy leading a cheer section, and they had a spray, a water gun. He was shooting with the water guns and stuff while they was cheering him on. And then they had a cow section because Colton Cowser is the outfielder, and so they have this outfield section devoted to him, and 50 people wearing cow outfits. So it's crazy. So I mean, you don't see that in a lot of baseball stuff. You see that more in soccer type stuff. So yeah, it was cool. Or Camden Yards is cool. So Nationals is okay. Nationals I put with the Mariner Stadium. I'm not they were both to me just kind of just for being a fairly new stadium. So
yeah.
All right.
I think when we went to Camden, it was like a hurricane and the game ended up getting rained out. Something
like that. Yeah.
I remember right. Yeah.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, because we went with
Bill.
Uncle Bill, yeah.
Yeah. Took forever to get there. I remember that.
Yeah.
Traffic was brutal.
Yeah, we took it. Well, our hotel was only like 5 blocks, so we Ubered there.
Well, we're coming from Northern Virginia, so
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was just
yeah.
But yeah, it was.
So I'd put Camden's in my top 5. The Nationals is not. I don't even remember what the name of the stadium is. I think it's called Nationals Park, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think it's sponsored.
So, yeah. So for me, it's probably, and I've never been to Pittsburgh, and I know Pittsburgh says we're really, really nice.
Really nice. It is.
And I haven't been to that one.
Much as I hate to say it.
Yeah. So for me, it's Giants, Reds, and Orioles. For the ones I've been to.
Not Comerica?
That was nice. I like Camden better though. I like the Red Stadium better too.
Yeah, I do too.
I like Great American. That was better than the Nationals. Comerica, definitely.
Yes. All right.
Definitely not Wrigley.
Not Wrigley.
Dump.
Not Fenway.
Not Fenway. Even though I like Fenway, but
I hated Fenway.
Well, yeah, because you were sick.
Sick. Yeah, I'm too tall.
Yeah.
My knees are in my chest.
All right. Anything else for the dads out there before we get out of here? Nope.
Nah, just hope you had a great day. Only happens once a year.
That is right. Once a year for us, dads. All right. Next week, let's see here. What do we have on tap? We've got possibly the best ending in sports. We'll rank those. And then we'll begin.
We have the beginning of Copa America for the U.S. starts next Sunday.
All right. Yep. We'll make sure we put that on the list. You guys.
That's big for U.S.
Yeah, they're
trying to see their progress after their shellacking by Colombia and much better game against Brazil.
Yeah, I may be ready to hijack a segment and talk about bear halter. So
they were better against Brazil. I mean, they had legitimate chances to win that game.
Yeah, but they lost 5-1 to Colombia. So.
Oh, that happens. So
yeah, it shouldn't.
What happens to the U.S. It doesn't happen to the best teams.
Right.
They'll lose 5-1. That's like Germany and Scotland the other day.
Yeah.
Germany won 5-1. Scotland's not winning 5-1. So.
All right. With that, we are going to get out of here. We do want to reiterate Happy Father's Day to all your dads out there. Hopefully you're listening with your kids. That'd be great. Get them tuned in to Cincy Sports Scene. Get them loving their Reds and Bengals as much as we do. And then who knows, one day they can be on the big screen and we can be listening to them talking about the Reds and the Bengals as well. So till next week, everybody have a wonderful, wonderful week. Take care.
Yep.
Take care, everyone.